Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request. This time from Yule, Y-U-L-E. He sent in a paid request, well actually two. One for a commentary for Tomorrow Never Dies, and the other for a commentary of Die Another Day. And I figured I would do Die Another Day first, just to get the bad one out of the way. Because I'm not a fan of this movie. But it'll be interesting, because I vaguely remember bits and pieces of this film. But anyway, for those interested, if you ever want to request, send in a paid request for pretty much anything. Commentary, topic, reaction, review, re-review, randomness, out of the blueness, whatever it may be. Topic, list, writing, whatever. Feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Underneath the video. The links are there. It should be like PayPal. That's the first one. The second one should be Patreon. Whichever one. If not, no worries. If so, I really do appreciate it. But yeah, Die Another Day. Die Another Day. Yule, I hope the commentary goes alright. So 3, 2, 1, pressing play. This will be interesting. MGM, which I don't even know if MGM what's going on, if they're going to get bought out by Amazon or what the deal is. Seems like forever MGM has been a shit creek. Like, it seems like forever MGM's been in trouble. Like, when was the last time MGM wasn't in financial trouble? Of course, the famous James Bond barrel. I know I did not see No Time to Die because I'm like, do I really want to watch a 3-hour movie where James Bond dies? You know, why do movies have to get longer and longer and longer? You know? Now, this is directed by Lee Tamahori, who I believe directed The Edge, which I liked The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin. Survival in the woods. You have a little bit of a killer bear story, but it's also these guys trying to survive the elements and each other in the woods. While after a plane crash. Yes, you got James Bond the Surfer. I know James Bond can do a lot of things, but did you really need him to be a fucking surfer too? What's funny is after this, I forget, before or after this, the director did Triple X State of the Union. I think it was my friend Effrey that told me the story of, I want to say the trailer for that film popped up and they booed because they remember this movie and how bad it was. Like, Lee Tamahori, the director, died another day, and like, boo! Because Triple X State of the Union isn't that great either. And here's the thing with Pierce Brosnan. I think he got a kind of a raw deal, because I love GoldenEye. That's actually my favorite James Bond film. And Tomorrow Never Dies I enjoy. I think that's one of the more underrated James Bond films. But then he did World Is Not Enough and Die Another Day. And those are, like, to me, two of the weakest James Bond flicks. The World Is Not Enough is more boring, and this one just more goofy. And it's like, Matt, you really complain about goofiness in James Bond? I mean, you got Moonraker. But when Roger Moore did films like Moonraker, like, that's silly, but it seemed consistently silly. This one didn't know what it wanted to be, from what I remember. Like, you have this North Korea, kind of a series opening where he gets captured and tortured, he's in prison, and he's incognito, and he's got a full beard, and fuck you, James Bond, Wayne doing shit. But then there's also the same James Bond where he's kite surfing, and he's racing on the fucking ice, and there's fucking CGI and bombs everywhere, and it'd be like if, imagine, the fun of The Spy Who Loved Me, but in the middle you had the seriousness of the death of the wife and on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Do you imagine Spy Who Loved Me and then it ends like on Her Majesty's Secret Service? Or, I don't know, Goldfinger, but then it ends like Casino Royale. It just consistency is a good point as well. I'm surprised they mentioned North Korea because North Korea is usually the big no-no country to say and mention. Just go look up The Interview, that movie, all the controversy that happened with that. But they obviously, James Bond is going undercover, and ultimately he gets caught, and he's incognito. We don't know him. Wipe our hands clean of him. Now here's the thing with James Bond. I didn't grow up with Bond. If I did grow, it's like I saw License to Kill, GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, and pretty much that's it. It wasn't until much, much later that I saw all the James Bond films. And for most of them I enjoy. You know, Sean Connery's great. I like Dr. No. For Russia with Love, I could never get into. I thought that was a bit overrated. I'm sorry. Goldfinger, I think, is the best Sean Connery one. You Only Live Twice, I had a lot of fun with. Diamonds Are Forever is okay. Step down from Goldfinger, You Only Live Twice. I forgot about Thunderball, and that's kind of how I felt about it. I would say Goldfinger and You Only Live Twice are my two favorite Sean Connery ones. And From Russia with Love and Thunderball are my two least favorite. Well, not including Never Say Never Again. I could never get into that one. I'm like, why are we remaking Thunderball? I mean, well, I know why, because of the rights, and that's a weird movie in itself, because it's not really connected, but they have the rights to only that one story. That's how a different studio was able to make Never Say Never Again, because they didn't have the rights to James Bond, but they had the rights to the story. Thus, I don't know, confusing. I mean, if I were to say, like, my favorite James Bond films in no particular order, Goldfinger and Tomorrow Never Dies would be in there. License to Kill would be in there. I would put The Spy Who Loved Me would be high up there. I really enjoy The Spy Who Loved Me. Also, I like Skyfall. I like Casino Royale. Goldfinger, You Only Live Twice. The weakest? I don't know what the worst James Bond film would be. This is close. This and The World is Not Enough are close. I'm also not big into... I'm trying to think. I like Live and Let Die. A View to a Kill is kind of fun, but Roger Moore was too old for the part. He was getting up there. That should have been the first Timothy Dalton film, and it should have been 3 Timothy Dalton. A View to a Kill, then The Living Daylights, and License to Kill. That should have been... A View to a Kill should have been a Timothy Dalton film. And I think it would have worked out better, because you have a young, fresh, and this high, crazy adventure, and then you go with Living Daylights and such. And then after that... Moonraker, it's kind of fun with the whole Star Wars motif. I would say least favorite, like Die Another Day, World Is Not Enough, they're up there. Spectre I would put in that list. The Man with the Golden Gun I could never get into. I like Christopher Lee, but he kind of... I wish his plot was more the plot. It kind of gets lost with his other plot. I don't know. But a lot of them I do enjoy. A lot of them I do quite enjoy. I would say at least 80% of the James Bond films I do love or do like. So for the most part, it is a franchise that I get a lot of enjoyment out of. At the very least, you do have a big production. Like, they definitely go all out in the production of these films. Like, even this, I'm not a big fan of the movie, but the money's on the screen. Like, look at all this. You got big explosions, cars being blown bad, jeeps being blown up, all done for real on camera. Like, this stuff I don't mind. Like, this opening is actually a fairly good way to open the film. James Bond taking control, shooting left and right, things are blowing up. James Bond, making his escape. Again, all done for real on camera. He's in this like hovercraft. I'm not. Is that the right term for it? And this, the one bad guy that gets the diamonds blasted into his face. It's okay. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Like, this is not a bad opening. Big spectacle, big production. But again, just something about it gets lost along the way. Like, that was a cool explosion and flip. I mean, I'm watching this, I'm going, maybe I'll like it this time. Maybe I'll like the film this time. Maybe it'll grow on me this time. Like, look at this. I mean, the bad guy's shooting with this big fucking Gatling gun and flamethrower down. He's dodging a flamethrower on one side and James Bond's on the other, and again, real fire done. I mean, it's a pretty damn exciting opening, but then just the rest of the plot, and I dare say this is probably the best action scene in the movie, and it's the first scene. Again, when you look at the opening, you go, damn, this is pretty fucking good. This is James Bond, man. It's pretty impressive when you look at the day's age of so much like CGI cartoonish stuff. This is like exciting. But was this the one with the invisible car too, or is that another movie? I can't remember which one had the invisible car. I can't remember. I think what it is when he gets caught and tortured. As okay, if you want to do that, fine, then we're going to maybe like a License to Kill type of storyline, like a darker, grimmer James Bond. Like, okay, we have this big, grandiose action sequence, and then, oh, now we're going to get down and dirty. And that's not really the case. And it's like, okay, if you want to be more the fun, entertaining James Bond, he walks off and then... Or, okay, he gets caught, and then, alright, you want to make this switch, okay, now we're getting License to Kill territory. Which I think is one of the more underrated James Bond films. I love License to Kill. Timothy Dalton. It's sad that his James Bond tenure was so short. It was only 2 films. And, License to Kill, I don't think did the best. And then they're like, well, what are we going to do with this? There's a lot of issues with the rights, and... I mean, License to Kill was, what, 89? And then GoldenEye was 94? Or so. Yeah, this is when this is when it goes haywire. I hate this song. Is that Madonna, right? Like, you get this Madonna song interspersed with James Bond being tortured again and again. Getting his head dumped in water ready to drown. He's going to be fucking burned with a poker and fire. Like this hardcore torture of James Bond while this hyper song of just die another day. Die another day. I'm like, that's a conflicting. Again, it's like, okay, we don't drag James Bond around, torture him some more. We're going to fucking burn him, drown him, beat him, ice him, freeze him, kick him, punch him, fuck him, suck him, railroad him, rape him, put fucking needles up his ass and scorpions in his eyes, and we don't put a fucking KY jelly fist fuck on James Bond. Die another day. I've never been a fan. Victor Armstrong, second unit director. Victor Armstrong. I mean, he directed the Dolph Lundgren film. Why am I blanking on the name? Army of One, also known as the Joshua Tree. And he worked I think he worked with, I think he was double in Harrison Ford in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Back to the day. He was a stunt man, stunt coordinator. I believe it's the same Victor Armstrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize, and I'm just talking out of my ass. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, oh well. Maybe I'm just thinking of better movies like Indiana Jones. And it's like, okay, what do I have? Like a fire woman and an ice woman staring at James Bond? Watching him getting tortured more and more. It's like, what do you want to be, movie? Do you want to be License to Kill, or do you want to be Moonraker? You know, which is it? Or I should say more like Casino Royale or Moonraker. Like, which do you want to be? Is this Madonna or not? See, I don't remember much of shit about this. 14 months. That's a year, over a year of his life gone. So now you're thinking, okay, over a year of being tortured, beaten up, drowned. I mean, okay, now I don't like, fuck all this shit. Timothy Dalton License to Kill. You think of that sentiment, that reaction. And is that the case? If you wonder what I'm doing, I want to look up some of that info I was thinking of. It's true he was left, I mean, for over a year. I mean, I'm surprised they kept him alive for over a year. I'm surprised they didn't fucking kill him off sooner. Definitely surprised, but I guess... I think they do, like, give something up for James Bond. Ultimately. And then she's being bitchy. Like, the price was too much. Alright, well, fuck you then. Like, goddamn. Let me try this voice thing. Die Another Day. James Bond. Oh, of course, it doesn't fucking work. Fine, do another fucking way, asshole. Do another goddamn way. Die Another Day, James Bond.
Die Another Day is a 2002 movie directed by Lee Tamahori, starring Pierce Brosnan, Rosamund Pike, and Halle Berry.
No shit. I wonder if this doesn't... Who sang the main theme song in Die Another Day?
Die Another Day is an album by David Arnold.
That's not what I asked, but okay. Madonna is Madonna. It led me to that at least. So it was Madonna. I wonder if this will say something else. Just wait. Okay, just wait. What is going on here? Why does Die Another Day suck ass? Doesn't fucking answer me. Doesn't answer me, motherfucker. Because no one has a fucking answer. Of course no one has a fucking answer. Michael Madsen. I forgot Michael Madsen was in a James Bond film. Guy's a fucking asshole. Not the actor, Michael Madsen, but the character. I mean, the guy only saved the world, like, probably 20 times, but... Hey, who is he, right? So this is what it says here. Number 10, nobody's interested. Nobody in this movie put on a strong performance. Everyone was acting like they were bored to be in the movie. Each scene just went through the motions until the movie was finished. This is the one with the invisible car. The movies where the series have finally jumped the shark when it gave us the invisible car. That just seems stupid, even for a James Bond film. The plot sucks. The movie had no intrigue. I actually forgot the plot halfway through the movie. The CGI looked terrible. Madonna sucks. Her music is horrible. Not only did she record one of the worst Bond movie songs, she also had a cameo. Gustav is the villain? You have an invisible car, an ice palace, half of the plot becomes silly, and you have a freaking laser beam. Did I describe Austin Powers? At the time the movie was released, there were 2 Austin Powers movies, and action films have changed. Well, yeah, around this time you had like Triple X, which was kind of like, oh, James Bond is passé. Like, oh, James Bond is passé. You would think, you know, all this time of knowing James Bond, you could fucking trust the guy. And Judi Dench is not a bad M. I liked her in these movies. And it was always a weird continuity because Casino Royale was a prequel, like it was a new beginning, but you still had Judi Dench at M. So it's like, wait a minute, it's in the same continuity? No, it's not in the same continuity. That was confusing to me. Like, Casino Royale has nothing to do with these films. Same with Skyfall. But Judi Dench was still M. And it's like, I mean, it's just confusing. Although, I mean, you can maintain the last... Well, I like Casino Royale. I like Quantum of Solace. I didn't mind. I like Skyfall. Spectre I wasn't really big on, and this new one doesn't sound interesting to me. Although the last... You just say the James Bond film was The Rock. Just go on. We know Sean Connery played James Bond. They may change his name, but that was James Bond. Come on now. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. But I still think, yeah, The Rock is a great James Bond movie. They just didn't know it yet. But come on, again. You watch the film, it's James Bond. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, he looks just like I feel watching this movie. Like after that opening, kind of cool, and I'm like, great. Is he wondering, did he crack? Did he didn't notice it, I guess? Or maybe that seemed like an interesting idea at the time. But again, it's like, could be a pretty dark, serious motif. And then it's the same movie with invisible cars and ice palaces. And imagine License to Kill, that movie, that plot, but then you had... Imagine the third act of License to Kill became Moonraker. You know? I... But I mean, with James Bond in the future, I don't look forward to what they do because of all this stuff of James Bond is misogynistic, James Bond liking the ladies is wrong, taking women to bed is wrong, if you look at him funny is wrong, if you kiss him on the cheek is wrong, if you fuck it's wrong, if you suck it's wrong, if you kiss is wrong, if you put a dildo next to the vibrator is wrong, if you paint the red, paint the room red, pink, it's wrong. If you paint it yellow, it's wrong. If you drink too long, it's wrong. If you sneeze, it's wrong. Fucking anything is you're canceled. You're wrong. You're always fucking wrong. James Bond's wrong. It just makes me allergic to the bullshit. That's why, you know, with James Bond in the future, I don't look forward to what they do because it's just like, we have to pacify James Bond and you gotta make him nicer. We gotta make him, he don't like the girls, you know. He fucked the girls, he fucked the guys, he fucked them all. Just do whatever, man. James Bond will be bi because not because they believe in it, but because just to appease people on Twitter. Was like the vocal minority. When I say minority, I mean most of fucking U.S. are not on Twitter. It's mostly like white people that get mad about this stuff too. I'm white and I'm tired of being white. Okay. I think all races and colors and creed have good people and bad people. All of them. That's why we're equal. That's equality. That person may be black or white or both or neither, and they could be a good person or a bad person. That's what equality is. So get the fuck over it. Fucking shit. I know there's a tangent. I heard about this Kyle Rittenhouse thing. I didn't know shit about it. He defended himself by killing... Two people tried to kill him. He defended himself. People were mad at him, tried to get him in prison forever because the people he killed in self-defense, they were a different color. But I'm like, they tried to kill him. It was self-defense. One of them was a fucking child sex abuser. Go fucking feed her. Like, goddamn. And that's what I mean, like, this plot kind of has, like, a license to kill initial motif. It's personal, he's off the grid, he's not officially licensed. This is a personal mission of vengeance, vendetta. But again, this is like if License to Kill was done in the style of Moonraker. And it just doesn't have this consistent... Which movie do you want to be? It's like you want to have the best of both worlds, and it was jumping the shark. Again, there's a lot of ridiculous shit. I mean, again, James Bond went into space, but that's not even one of my favorite James Bond films. But okay, it's silly. It's consistently silly. It's... Again, imagine if that film opened up with the On Her Majesty's Secret Service. The way that ends, imagine if that's how Moonraker began. James Bond's wife, and she's murdered. And it ends with him being in Star Wars land. Again, consistent tone can be a nice element. And see, again, by this point, I'm already bored. It's not that I have ADD, it's just... I don't know. I don't think this director does the best job with pacing a film. I really don't. So I know Halle Berry's in this, and I like Halle Berry. I loved Kidnap. I have the Blu-ray over there. I liked her in John Wick Chapter 3. I know she has like a boxing movie, MMA. I think it's an MMA movie out now, which I haven't seen. I'm sure it's going to get bad reviews. It seems like anything Halle Berry does gets bad reviews. At least that she's a star of. And she's done some bad ones. Catwoman is bad. I know this is around the time she actually won the Oscar for Monsters Ball. So Academy Award worthy Halle Berry, and then she was in this film and Catwoman, and the stock kind of went down for Halle. But I do like her. I like her as an actress. I don't think the movie's her fault. I mean, even Catwoman, it's not bad because of Halle Berry. It's bad because the director Pitoff didn't know what the fuck he was doing. You had a garbage script, a garbage CGI, a villain where Sharon Stone wanted to have makeup, like fuck over people with makeup. Like what? Action scenes that were shit. Here, I just see what that person says about how when you get to the middle you forget what the fuck the plot is about. Now I'm trying to think how the hell this turns into invisible cars and ice palace and kite surfing and... Again, it seems like Pierce Brosnan was disappointed in his turn as James Bond. Like, GoldenEye he enjoys. But it seems like the other ones he doesn't really talk much of. But I do think Tomorrow Never Dies is a good one. Tomorrow Never Dies, I think, is underrated. Because I like the plot. I like the idea of a megalomaniacal, can't even say it right. This guy who's really crazed insane into tabloid media publications to be the best in the world. It's like the king of fake news, propaganda news. Which, to be honest, is a bit prevalent in today's age. Plus, Michelle Yeoh was a cool addition to that movie. And the bad guy's played by, oh, I forgot his name. He was in the Whoopi Goldberg film Jumpin' Jack Flash. He was in... He played the president in the G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe Retaliation. I forgot his name. Like I say, he played Jack in Jumpin' Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg. Is Jonathan Pryce? Could be wrong. And then this is where around he meets Halle Berry. Which Halle Berry's not a bad choice. Just needed a better fucking script, better director. But I mean, if you watch The Edge, is that okay? This is a good movie. Is that you would think okay? The Edge is pretty decent. Okay, give him a try. It was the wrong call, though. It's the wrong call. Did you look at this? Triple X State of the Union. I don't know what the hell he did after it. Lee Tamahori. It would have been nice to see, like, I don't know, John McTiernan or Rennie Harlan or John Woo. Well, it'd have to be PG-13 John Woo. Or, you know, take their crack at James Bond. But yeah, this is around 2002, and yeah, action films were changing a bit. I mean, 2002, this is like after The Matrix, and this is when you're getting more into the Lord of the Rings came out 2001, The Fellowship of the Ring. You know, you're getting the Star Wars prequels. I think this is the same year as Attack of the Clones. Spider-Man had came out. It's supposed to be 2001, might have been 2002. So yeah, this is around the time of Spider-Man, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Star Wars prequels, a different ballgame when it comes to action films compared to this. Which I'm guessing that's why they tried to do more of the CGI thing. They wanted to be in that club. Because they looked at, well, Spider-Man has all this CGI, that's coming out. Fellowship of the Ring, there's practical, but there's a lot of CGI in that. And look at these Star Wars prequels. That's the new thing. We gotta jump on it, otherwise we'll be old hats. We'll be the old guys sitting in the corner thinking we're cool. We gotta be hip with the kids. It's just too far. It was too far. Just, you know. What the fuck? Where is this conversation even going? We're talking about birds and owls. What do predators do when the sun goes down? I don't know, have a party, an orgy? They feast between the legs? They're hungry for poontang? They feast between the legs? They die lay no eggs? Yeah, immediately they fucked. So I guess I wasn't that wrong. Immediately fucked. That didn't take long. I know James Bond is fast, but fuck. Fast and there's light speed. Of course, with the rain you can't see shit. But that's like all James Bond films. This is PG-13, right? And yeah, I have the DVD because I have the box set of the DVDs. Thus, this is included. From Dr. No up until Die Another Day was the like 2-3 box sets. But, PG-13, okay. The savviest and most exciting Bond adventure in years, Entertainment Weekly. Back in the day, this did get quite a few good reviews when it came out. Like, Roger Ebert gave this 3 out of 4 stars. And there were people saying this was the best James Bond film in a long time. I kid you not. Don't believe me? Go on Wikipedia and go to the section with critic reviews. You can read some of those reviews. I think Roger Ebert gave this 3 out of 4 stars. Someone else said it was like the best James Bond film in years. And again, this says most exciting Bond adventure in years, Entertainment Weekly. So they say it too. So there was a lot of good reviews when this came out, but not in retrospect. So I'm trying to remember, like, he talked to the one guy, if he didn't get me in North Korea, I could take him out. I just, here with Jinx, and on nice beach, and now, it's my fault, I haven't been paying attention. What the fuck's going on now? I forget where the fuck he's at now. I forget what movie I'm watching. I'm watching Live and Let Die? No? Damn. At least I don't... I Live and Let Die. One of the best James Bond theme songs. And then this is one of the worst. I've never been a Madonna fan. Like, the only Madonna song I liked was a song in the movie the film with Sean Penn, Christopher Walken. That's like the only Madonna song I ever fucking liked. Maybe I could do with the prayer song that got all the controversy. Just the end of you to take me there. Like, maybe I could deal with that song, so maybe 2. But, like, before, like, Dick Tracy, she did songs for that. That were nominated for, I think it won the Oscar. You know what other song was nominated for Best Song in the Oscars? Blaze of Glory by John Bon Jovi. So yeah, a song Madonna did for Dick Tracy beat out John Bon Jovi's Blaze of Glory. I'm going down in a blaze of glory. I bet more people I talk to remember that song more than any fucking song Madonna did in Dick Tracy. But that's Madonna. She was popular for a bit. Now, no one ever talks about Madonna. For good reason, but Madonna, like, disappeared. Which I'm glad, because she wasn't a good actress. I forgot what movie I saw she was starring I reviewed. I think she wasn't that good of an actress. And I think as a singer she was overrated. And so I like those 2 songs. Damn, got his ass. I'm trying to, like, what was the point of that hallway of mirror stuff? Was just that there, was that there just for show, or was there something else I was missing? That hallway of mirrors. Kind of this weird random hallway. I mean, did I miss something with that? Because the rest of it is like a medical facility. So why would this medical facility just have this hallway of mirrors? Maybe I missed something. If I missed something, I apologize. Mea culpa, mea culpa. But the rest is like, again, do a lot of medical facilities just have a hallway of mirror? There's Rick Yoon, which has the diamonds in his face. I think this is like, it's not him, it's someone else. Or maybe not. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. If it's really him or it's meant to be someone else with his face as a decoy. I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe I'm supposed to take it at face value. I didn't know what was in that jar, but part of me was like, figured didn't shoot it right in, just throw it right in his face. Nope, just some... I don't know why I was thinking of that other plot. I was trying to think of a more interesting plot point than just, it's just Diamond Face. Sounds like WWF wrestler. Here comes Diamond Face versus The Undertaker. He's broken in half. So that doctor just happened to have a Halle Berry. Why wouldn't she take that with her for evidence of later? Like, she just left a picture of herself right by the doctor? She wouldn't like, hey, let me double check for evidence? That's kind of weird to just leave there. Or just let there so that Pierce Brosnan can see it. Brosnan, not Bronson. Brosnan. But why would she just leave like right by the person she killed this picture of herself? Like she didn't notice, she didn't look, she didn't bother. That's a good shot. You need a better fucking gun, man. Have like a little, I don't know, missile. What are the soldiers doing? That's really crummy CGI. That she falls back, and I mean, obviously you're not gonna have Halle Berry really do that, but that looked like really bad CG. Funny that the soldiers don't still shoot at her. Like, apparently the soldiers are like, nah, that's too far. I ain't gonna shoot. And if they look to the side, oh, there's a guy with a gun. Who are you? Yes, they're diamonds, just like in his face. Diamonds are forever. But I do see what people when they mean that the more this plot goes on, the more it does seem like an Austin Powers plot. Which that's the thing, like, even those films were being made. And it's like, okay, you're making a film and there's parodies of your film, and then people are like, well, can you really tell the difference? And the first Austin Powers is great. The second one's okay. The third one is there. But I always thought the first one was the best. And this actor in the back, I forget his name, is it Colin Salmon or Colin? I can't remember his name. This guy here who's standing next to Judi Dench. He was in Resident Evil, the first Paul W.S. Anderson movie, where he's like the leader of the team, and then when in that hallway, he just cut to bits. He was also in Alien vs. Predator, which a predator shot a net at him, and then he was cut to bits in that as well. Surprised he wasn't cut to bits in this one. I think he did Alien vs. Predator after this. Gustav Graves, King of Diamonds. I was always more of Jack of Spades. What's up with this fucking song? Oh, Rosamund Pike. Where I remember she was in the 2005 Doom movie. Which I know she just did an interview saying that movie shit, and she's embarrassed by it. I'm like, lady, that movie's better than this movie. I'll say that. I think Doom 2005 is a better movie than this one. I don't, people want to get mad and get glad. We agree to disagree. Doom 2005 I like more than this one. Sorry, Rosamund Pike. I forgot what new movie she's in, but someone asked her about that. It's like, oh, I'm embarrassed. Be embarrassed by this. I do think Pierce Brosnan has said this is his least favorite of the ones he did, which I don't blame him. That I can agree and concur with. But yeah, GoldenEye is the best he's done, and Tomorrow, like I said, Tomorrow Never Dies is the most underrated, and The World's Not Enough is like the most forgettable. I've seen that film at least twice. I don't remember a damn thing about it other than Denise Richards is in it. I think, isn't it the bad guy who has like a bullet in his brain so he doesn't feel pain? But I think that's it. Don't quote me on that. See, that's what I mean. Like, you had the fun, explosive North Korea opening done all for real, practical, and maybe Vic Armstrong deserves more credit for that than Lee Tamahori. Hey, Vic, you worked on Indiana Jones and stuff, if you're the same Vic. Oh, here's Madonna's cameo. I remember this now. There's Madonna. I'm surprised she does not have a bigger role in this, because she always wanted to be an actress. I remember her Oscar bid with Evita. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Which I guarantee you is like, oh, maybe I could get the Oscar for this. Evita. If there's a third song, I'm like, maybe I don't mind. Maybe that song. Don't cry for me, Argentina. That's the thing with a lot of James Bond, is that there's certain games that he'll play with the villain to try to beat, whether it be poker, gambling. The one that made me smirk the most was, I think, Never Say Never Again, where I think it was like a video game, which like Sean Connery and the villain, they have these joysticks, and it was some kind of video game they were playing. Because I just never thought James Bond would play a video game, let alone Sean Connery. That's like the one thing that sticks out in my head and Never Say Never Again. Like he loses, let me try again. I'm like, oh, Sean Connery in The Last Starfighter. I think it's Never Say Never Again. Here it's with fencing. Which that's the thing, is that we have the mask on. Now it could be anybody in the it, because you wouldn't be able to tell if that was Pierce or not. Which I'm sure is easy for the filmmakers. Oh, you get someone who really knows how to fence, that kind of has the body stature of Pierce, and there you go. Sorry, I'm listening to the dialogue. I don't know why I am, but I just for the shits and giggles. And don't take your shirt off. It's not that kind of wager. What you're going to do the river dance? Let us dance. This time we have no mask, so you do have to showcase a little bit that it's Pierce. I don't know why I laugh at Pierce screaming at being hurt. I don't know why. He did it. Oh! I don't know why I laugh. That's not funny. I don't know why I'm smiling. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's just the Pierce going, oh! Ah! I don't know why anybody would do it if you get cut by a sword. Just for some reason, just laughing at Pierce to, ah! It's not that funny. I don't know why. I was faking it for like the last 30 seconds, but initially, I don't know why I was laughing. Most of it was for real, but I tried to embellish a little bit. But yeah, I don't know why I found that funny. Like, couldn't control it, at least let it go and then just go for it. And all? Kick him in the nuts then, if that's the case. But I also think, like, this bad guy... Okay, let's say he stabs this guy through the chest. Wouldn't everybody, like, know? Like, what is his end game for this? Like, let's say he stabbed Pierce through the head. All these witnesses... He's going to buy them all off? He's going to kill them all off? Like, it'd be a shitload of witnesses. I guess it's like, hey, I'll buy them off. No one would, you know... Nice tuck and roll. Well, not tuck and roll, but jump and roll. A jolly good show. That wasn't a bad sword fight scene, though. I don't think it was that bad compared to other stuff I've seen. I've seen much worse. It's probably still something I'll forget in like a week or two, but it's not that bad. But yeah, it was talking with Chinese guys to get into North Korea, and then we're somewhere where this guy escapes, so now we found a diamond, and now that diamond deals with an African mine, and then the diamonds are forever, and this guy's with the Jamaican voodoo posse in Predator 2, or he's with the posse that tried to kill Steven Seagal and Mark for Death, and he just left, and now there's a T to someone's virginity that he's going to go unlock and put his poontang, get the poontang pie into his cucumber or celery stick. I don't know. I don't know Pierce's preferences and offenses and defenses. But he's going to go down here, and he opens it up. It's the Eyes Wide Shut S&M Club, while someone's in the corner watching, jerking off. And I was like, wow, this James Bond flick went to a different direction. James Bond, directed by Stanley Kubrick. Fuck is the... Sorry, I'm listening to the dialogue. I'm trying to follow the plot at least a little bit. So the bad guy was orphaned and had a diamond mine. That was a Cuban clinic. New identities courtesy of DNA implants. Really? That's what... Of course he's politically connected. Who isn't? But see, then now right there is kind of... We've forgotten the whole... I feel burned of being abandoned. Personal vendetta. That's kind of just seeped away now. Because in this conversation, it's just, now let me go do my job. And it's like, okay, so it's not... I mean, he's outside of it, but at the same time, it's like... Still back to old habits. Oh, isn't this like a training session? Yeah, this is like a training session, I think. To see his skills are intact. I vaguely remember that. It's like, wait, Moneypenny is dead? It's like, no. Ah, okay, it's two. So what's the point of that, though? But what's the point of doing a VR in reality? I mean, the point of that makes sense. Do it in VR because, yeah, you can imagine yourself shooting people, but it's about your physical movements. Are you fast? You're aiming with your eye still, but like, if your arm isn't moving fast enough, if you move and you pull a fucking muscle or your physical attributes, that is a precious thing. Plus, I mean, when you fire a gun, there's going to be a big load of noise, so with your ears. If I go good at a fucking video game, that doesn't mean I'm going to be good at a firing range. There's a lot of other attributes to take into place about it. You mentioned this is your new watch. This may be your 20th. I think that's in connection with, like, this was like the 20th James Bond film. I think this came out like the 40th anniversary of James Bond. I think so. This is the invisible car. Well, he said it best. You gotta be joking. An invisible car. I mean, when you get to a fucking invisible car, you go, come on, really? Really? An invisible car? And we've had crazy stuff. I mean, The Spy Who Loved Me, the car went underwater. But I don't know, that was consistent in its tone. It was a much more fun, faster paced film. This, I don't know, just the invisible car made me go, I don't know, it just was like, what the fuck? Just what the fuck? Like, goddamn. Yeah, I know it's weird to complain. There's a lot of crazy stuff, but there's a point where you just jump the shark. You go, come on. What's that? James Bond with superpowers? Like, that'd be a new. You take a pill, and for 2 hours you're able to fly or able to have super strength, because the pill makes your adrenaline pumping so much into your muscles, so you can have superhuman strength, but it only lasts 2 hours because it will longer than that will make your body deteriorate and your heart explode. I could see it going that route. You take a pill, super strong, like literally a power up in a video game. I'm surprised they haven't done that. When they went that far with, that's why, one of the many reasons why in Casino Royale they wanted to go back to basics. And I can understand that. I like Casino Royale, I like Skyfall. Quantum of Solace, in between that, I didn't mind. I could do less of the shaky cam stuff. I was trying to be like a Bourne Identity movie a little bit. Oh, the ice, see this ice palace. Again, it's just like the beginning of the film and this one seems like two different James Bond movies. Like, the beginning seems like it'd be cool, GoldenEye, License to Kill, and this is like Moonraker. It's like, is it serious or is it camp? Is it live or is it Memorex? I mean, Come on now, man. Safe. Why would you have an ice palace in the first place? Like, what's the appeal of having this shit? Like, why would you want to live in this place? Where it's fucking cold all the time. I just don't understand that. And look at all these fucking people. Like, it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. What do they do here? Just walk around? I'm looking at this place. What is there to even look at? Oh, there's ice. There's more ice. There are icicles. There's more ice. Maybe an ice Christmas tree. What the fuck is there to really look like? What is the point? I guess people have dinner here? Or they just have a party? I'm trying to look around like they're having dinner. Why the fuck would you want to sit on ice to have dinner? Hey, if you don't have dinner, wear a big fucking overcoat so you're sweating like a hog having sex. And what's the point of that? What's the... Oh, finally Halle Berry comes back. It's only hour and 10 minutes into the movie. What the fuck? Would you like to know more? I feel like Starship Troopers. So it is a party. But this is like a... It's like, come on, this is the 20th James Bond film. What can we do that we haven't seen before? So... You have this. But I don't get the... And how the fuck is it... So you tell me that in Ice Palace, it's not cold enough. It's so warm in an Ice Palace, now people are wearing fucking t-shirts and dresses. Just earlier, people were in overcoats. Now everyone's in a dress, gown, and regular fucking suit. I'm like, really? What the fuck is this? It's like ready to go for a rave. Oomsa, 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 oomsa. Oh, that's right. He's not really a guy. He's a different guy. He's a brother, right? Yeah. The DNA thing, it's really... Yeah, that's what it was. So I think that's the brother who went over the edge and was not dead. Yeah. So yeah, that's the brother who we thought was dead. It had a hell of a face change. I forgot about that. It's the face-off machine. That's what happened. He was in the face-off machine. Jason Statham, he wants to get into the face-off machine. Have you ever seen Spy with Melissa McCarthy? I thought that was the best part of the film. I know you got a face-off machine. I want one of those. We don't have a face. Come on, I know you have a face-off machine. That's something like with Jason Statham. I don't want to see a movie on Lee Christmas. I like the first Expendables, but I mean that just went up shit creek. I want to see a movie about that guy and Spy, and have it be like an action comedy. Like taking the piss out of his persona. That was one of the things I liked about Spy, is that what Jason Statham was doing in that, but and that's just me. What the fuck is this now? The satellite is giving birth. Light and warmth to the darkest parts of the world. Crops year-round, bringing an end to hunger. A second sun. Would that really be that worthwhile? I mean, I guess they said like to grow crops year-round, but I'm like... I mean, we still have sunlight, but I guess would that also deal with the temperature? Because we always have sunlight, but you know, if it's raining or if it's fucking blowing snow, it's not gonna really matter. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. Why does it sound like a Mr. Burns from The Simpsons idea? This whole thing. It's like a Mr. Burns. He has enough money, but he wants more money, so he comes up with this idea with the satellite to have a second son. I've been dancing in the gas all day. Sorry, I'm thinking one of the Treehouse of Horror episodes with Mr. Burns. I think like the King Kong one. He tried to throw gas and it went like 2 inches. Sorry. I mean, it does seem like a Mr. Burns Simpsons idea. Here's your invisible car. Why not an invisible suit? He could be an invisible man. That's the thing, if you get this far, like, what more could you do? That's a silent fucking car, too. Not only are you invisible, but you don't hear any motor running. I want one of those. I'm trying to remember if this is like the only time the invisible portion of the car comes into play. It's just like this weird, like, what is this? Like, again, DNA replacement so faces could be changed. Diamonds into other people's faces, ice palaces, invisible cars. What's that? It's the invisible jet from Wonder Woman. You just wonder, like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is happening? And what is this? Like, the power glove? You got the power glove now. What is this shit? So much for that invisible car. He used the invisible car, what? To see 1 or 2 sentences and get immediately found out? Fucking hell. I'm glad that pipe isn't cold with the weather. Again, what was I saying before? After that cool opening, I'm like, oh, maybe this is pretty cool and fun, and I'm what? I'm an hour and 18 minutes in. Less than an hour to go. And, yeah, I don't think... I said, well, maybe I'll grow to like this one. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. I think Rosamund Pike is the traitor. Because remember, someone told on James Bond. Remember, at the beginning of the film, someone told who James Bond really was. So there is a traitor. It's like, let's not forget about that. There was a traitor that told who James Bond was. And it's not Halle Berry. I don't even blame Halle Berry. I mean, you get offered to do a James Bond film. I would say yes to it. I bet most of you would say yes to it. But it's just bad, script, wrong director, doesn't know if it wants to be campy fun or what the hell it wants to be. What the fuck are they doing? What the fuck are they doing now? I can't remember. But, like, they're getting in bed. I guess he's just ready to fuck, or he just horny. Where's James Bond? What do I'm that surprised. I'm trying to remember what Halle Berry's deal is, like what her goal is. I can't remember. In this fucking greenhouse. In this fucking machine. I can't help it. I'm looking at this machine and laughing my ass off. So it's a glove that shocks people. It's master. The shock master. All he needs is that diamond stormtrooper mask. If you know what I'm talking about, look up wrestling shockmaster. Someone wearing like a stormtrooper Star Wars mask, but it looked like it's like diamond up. And the guy tried to go through the wall, but he fucked up and tripped. And if you listen closely, I think the British Bulldog's like, he failed his ass. He failed his fucking ass. You heard the dialogue. Like, anyway. I forgot, like, he had a fucking power glove, electrical glove. That's like something, I don't know. Maybe Skeletor would have that or something. Like, what the fuck? I forgot about that shit. God, so much I forgot about this, man. We have lasers. I mean, at this point, why not have sharks with freaking laser beams on them? Ice sharks. Would you really be surprised by this point? Would you really be that fucking surprised if sharks came up with laser beams attached to their fucking heads? No. No one would be fucking shot. Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. And maybe that's what they're trying to go for, like Goldfinger, that aspect of it. But either, I don't know if it's either the time had passed with that, or just a more accomplished, better movie. Or maybe it's an older film, we forgive it more, I don't know. I know I found Goldfinger a lot more entertaining than this. That thing James Bond had in his mouth, it looked like one of the things that was in one of the Star Wars prequels where you had this thing to breathe in their mouths. Remember in The Phantom Menace when Jar Jar Binks is showing them the underwater and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan had those mouth... That's what it looked like. Man, he got away from that sex scene quick to get here. What sparked that? Did he have a spidey sense? I must have fucking... Where is the bad guy? I was gonna say, why... The bad guy waited for James Bond to do that. I mean, this idea could maybe be interesting, that you have to avoid these lasers while doing a fight scene. I mean, this seems like a potentially kind of fun idea, like, oh, you gotta do this fight scene, but if these lasers catch you, they'll cut your hands or feet off. But I don't know what it is, just something about it. Maybe if it was in a better James Bond film, maybe it could work. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not that it's a bad scene. It's just you don't care about what's going on. So, because that could happen. You could have a decent scene in a bad movie, and you just kind of hurts it. Ooh, that would do it. It's a way to kill someone in PG-13. I guess James Bond's finally figuring it out. That would do it. And yeah, I don't think Halle Berry is the issue with it. How much is left of the film? Hour and 26? Now, of course, you invoke the title, You Live to Die Another Day. Was it with James Bond films, they always have people talk when they could just shoot them? I mean, it goes both ways. Like, do you expect me to talk? Nope, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. Here, like, you could just shoot the guy in the head, and it'd be fine, but... Of course, she turns on Bond, because we know she's the bad guy. Exactly. Turn the gun on him. We already know. Yes, deception. There you go. Ooh, are you surprised? I sure as fuck wasn't. I could have guessed it. Fucking idiot. Idea, and then you just shoot Bond right then and there. Boom, you're dead. But it's always got to be something more complicated. That's kind of the thing of Bond. A lot of talk, you just shoot the guy. Ah, got those cold puns. Not as much as Batman and Robin, I guess, but... An ice palace could be a treacherous place. Why the fuck would anyone want to go to a fucking ice palace? I think there are places that are made of ice, to be fair, but I still am going, why the fuck would you ever go there? I don't understand the appeal. I never understood the appeal for it. Obviously they did that just for a different visual dynamic. I can understand that, but fuck, man. I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Am I going to say this is the worst film of all time? No. Am I going to say this is one of the worst films of all time? Not really. You know, it's not in my top 100 worst or top 100 worst action films. It's not. I mean, what's sad is that I still find more merit in this than some of the superhero films of today, even though I'm not a fan of it. But I mean, I guess there's enough of this zany craziness that maybe could appeal to some people. It's like he's trying to be like a Roger Moore zaniness to it, but does it just... I don't know, I mean, maybe just Roger Moore made that fit with that Bond. I'm not sure it really fits with the Pierce version of Bond. I think maybe that's what it was. Like, this tried to go back to a Roger Moore type of Bond film, and it just... plus all the CGI stuff just didn't look good. Concentrate the sun's power. Oh my god. You know, people talk shit about the Newt the Fridge scene and Teen with Crystal Skull. I'd rather watch that than this. He's chased by the sun, man. Being chased by the fucking sun. And that's the difference. Like, you look at the beginning of the film, all done for real, on location, practical, car chases, real flamethrower, gunshots, explosions, real vehicles flipping over, crashing. And then that looked like a Tonka toy. When it landed and it hit the thing, that looked like a fucking Tonka toy. It looked like a cheap bottle. And it's just like... And the CGI in this time was not... It's not CGI that holds up the best. Well, you look at a lot of those movies. Star Wars, the first Spider-Man film. Like, you look at a lot of those, like, early 2000 CG, The Mummy Returns. They don't hold up that well. And that's one of the many issues I have with CG. Yes, it could be used well, but I'm much more of a stickler with practical effects, because even throughout many decades of time, they just still come off as charming and fun, and you can't be more real than real. It's still something physically there. It's like Predator, The Queen, and Aliens. To me, that still holds up. This doesn't. You know, I can still watch horror from 1992 and still marvel at the effects. On the flip side, look at this shit. Kite surfing with garbage looking... It looks garbage. It looks fucking garbage. Like, this is so fucking... I like his Steve from LA, but it reminds me of the scene of his Steve from LA. Surfing the fucking Hollywood... My god. And the director came up with that scene. Like, it was from what I read up, the director came up with that kite surfing scene. The director did. And they did Triple H State of the Union. And I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember, when did Triple X with Vin Diesel come out? Was it 2001? Or was it... I can't remember when Triple X came out. But I enjoy that film more than this. I don't know, flip side, that's sad. It could have been a cool, fun franchise. Like this stream sports version of James Bond with Vin Diesel. I think that could have been fun. I think that could have been entertaining. I liked the first Triple X. But then Vin Diesel, that was a time he did not want to do sequels. He was against doing sequels. He didn't do State of the Union. It didn't do well, bombed. And then it wasn't until his career was a shit creek he finally said, okay, I'll do a sequel. So he did Fast and Furious 4. That was a huge hit. Oh shit. Fast 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He tried to do that Chronicles of Riddick. Okay, I'll do another Riddick, a third one. I'll do a Triple X sequel. I remember they said, oh, that was such a huge hit overseas. We're going to have more of them. That never came to be. I remember it was like, oh, the return of Xander Cage. I was actually curious about it because I liked the first movie. And it was just awful film that what... He wasn't the main focus anymore. Didn't seem like they had to share with all these other people. Because they had to be a team like Fast and Furious. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Anyway, that's another topic. Yeah, here you have the invisible car. Yeah, we gotta get rid of the invisibility part so it just becomes a car chase scene. Only it's on the ice. Which again, maybe that does have potential to have a car chase among ice. Because I mean, that's a very dangerous thing to do. Like, you're not going to have too much friction and stability on ice. By such a dangerous aspect that there's not a whole lot you can do. To the point you could really be swerving and doing all these maneuvers. But how do you do that without wrecking so many cars and potential of hurting people? Because some of that gotta be in it. Oh, wait a minute. Does this have the... that flips the car back up? And the missile? Yeah. Again, like, I look at this, I go, this could potentially be kind of fun with the idea of a car chase on the ice, and they both have vehicles with these gadgets in it, but I don't know, man. Just comes off as empty to me. Comes off as empty to me. Just that shot of just the fucking... Damn, that's a strong car to demolish those fucking snowmobiles to the nth degree. Holy shit. Again, that could have a potential, like, okay, you're driving through a location, now the whole location is literally melting. So, you could have a ticking clock of, we need to get through this before the whole thing melts. Again, that's a potential. But again, just some, I don't know if it's just the direction, I don't know if it's just the pacing, I don't know if it's just... Something about it just doesn't work for me. It just really doesn't. I'm watching these action scenes and it just doesn't do much for me. Did you go back, maybe the shots like that, this goofy looking glow over this ice palace? I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm just... Also, you don't really get much of a sense of this location, so as he's driving down, it looks like the same fucking hallway over and over again. It's like it doesn't seem like it's at all different from one to the other. There you go. But that's for me, like, you don't really get a sense of the inside of the location. Like I said, it just seemed like he's going through the same hallways over and over and over again. So it's like, well, where the hell is he in this place? And like, where is he supposed to go? And like, how long has she been without breath? I would guess you gotta drive out before you fucking melt. Where the hell, where is he taking her? Oh, I guess that's what, the heat bath thing? I guess. Is that how it works? I guess that's how it works. Probably not. Whatever, man. Sure. Sure, 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 sure. I think about Halle Berry. What has her character really done so far, other than she got caught and James Bond had to save her from the lake? Well, I guess James Bond was saving her, and then she saved him by shooting that laser through the guy's mouth. And then James Bond saved her again. We have, what, maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes left? I don't even remember what the hell... After the Ice Palace stuff, I don't even know what the fuck happens next. What the hell? Well, I guess I'll find out. Sorry, I'm just looking at Pierce Brosnan. And after Die Another Day, I don't know if it was his choice or someone else's choice to not go forward. Like, maybe Die Another Day because of its reputation. Sorry, my nose is itching. They said, nah, let's go a different route. It would have been interesting to see Pierce Brosnan in the Casino Royale type of James Bond. I do think he could have made that work. But, you know, they wanted to reboot it. Pierce was getting older. And so that was that. Because Pierce Brosnan, I did not grow up with the TV show he did, Remington Steele. I know there was talks of Pierce playing James Bond. I don't know if it was A View to a Kill or The Living Daylights or somewhere around there. There was talks of Pierce Brosnan doing James Bond, but it never worked out for whatever reason. And so he did that show Remington Steele. He did a couple movies. An underrated one called Livewire. Livewire, if you like Pierce Brosnan, I would recommend Livewire. It's a really cool idea for a movie where bad guys have created this liquid. Now imagine a liquid that if you put the right ingredients in and someone drinks it, they themselves become a ticking live bomb. Because the liquid is like some type of explosive that when you drink it, and it mixes with the digestive stomach acids and all that, it creates a combustible, like literally a living bomb. So then people, their eyes will bleed and their stomach's pulsing and they will explode. She just exploded? No, I forgot to tell you the moment she swallowed a hand grenade. Yes, she blew up. You had Ben Cross from Chariots of Fire. You had Ron Silver from... He was the bad guy in Time Cop and a few other movies. Lisa Albacher from Beverly Hills Cop and Leviathan. And then at the third act, he set his house up with traps. So he used these homemade traps on bad guys trying to enter his home. Again, Livewire I thought was a fun, entertaining action film. Some really good, explosive set pieces. He did another one called Detonator, which got a sequel. I wasn't so big on those. But definitely, of his early films, I would recommend Livewire. And of course, he was also in the first Lawnmower Man. And he's done other stuff too. He was in the Thomas Crown Affair. He was in Dante's Peak. which I don't mind, but I prefer Volcano. But Dante's Peak I don't mind. What the fuck is that thing? Is that a cyborg? I mean, is that a robot? Are there robots in this movie that I forgot about? They look like a robot. The fuck is that? If robots pop out of this movie, I'm going to be very surprised. Because I'm like, how the hell did I forget that? Although if it did pop in this movie, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. So you got North Koreans. What the fuck is this now? This is like an Iron Man villain. Or Captain America villain now. Sorry, I'm listening to a dialogue just to follow along the fucking plot. And also trying to remember what the fuck he's wearing. What is that? Like, what is... I guess there's gonna be some... Is that part of the shot thing he had with the arm? The shot... Zzz, power glove? Don't forget the power glove. We got North Koreans, we got power gloves, we got ice palaces, we got people with diamonds in their faces, we got laser beams, we got fucking invisible cars, and a partridge in a pear tree. What the fuck? I mean, what? Is it using the sun as a weapon with his power glove? Yep. I forgot about this. It's a fucking Death Star. That's what the Death Star did in fucking, what was it? Rise of Sky... Road One, right? And, Rise of Skywalker. Was that what was happening? They were on that one planet and they met that one girl who we thought was dead, but then she joined at the end, who knew Poe. And then this laser theme was... I think that was happening in Rogue One as well. Icarus. So you have a yeah. I completely forgot about that plot. Yeah, you tell that was edited in order to keep the PG-13. Knife in the neck, big no. His suit does look, I mean, it looks like something in a Marvel. You would think the dad would be into this, though. I mean, he's a North Korean general, whatever. Wouldn't he want this? So, but I don't know why he turns the gun on the son. Probably some bullshit reason. But North Korea, man, I don't know. I don't know about that. There was one story I read recently. Remember that show Squid Game? Which I know I reviewed a couple episodes. I didn't review the rest because I didn't get any paid requests to review them. But there there was a story that someone enjoyed the show. It was banned because it was a South Korean show. So someone in North Korea wanted to see it, so they brought a copy of the show. And they got caught, and now they're going to be killed in a firing squad? Just for bringing the show for people to watch? I think it's someone from there who like snuck it in. And that place is just fucked up, man. I mean, I don't know if any of viewer of mine is from North Korea or they would ever see this. My hearts go out to you, man, who's there. Despite all my complaints, I'm glad to be here in the U.S. Because I know there's a lot of fucked up, stupid stuff in the U.S., but it's not like North Korea. Not in the slightest. So I don't know if anyone, but if you are, man, my hearts go out to you. Because that seems like one of the worst places to live in. I'm not even kidding. And yeah, if you don't want to be shot firing squad because you watched Squid Game, I'm like, it's not that bad of a show. But I mean, seriously, just fucking ridiculous bullshit. Hey, this is kind of a take on Executive Decision. And that one, she was co-pilot, while Kurt Russell pilot. Now this, she is the pilot. Even this action scenes just seems rather weak. Like another plane. I hope we land. What happened to her clothes? Did her clothes get ripped off? Or did I miss that part? What happened to her clothes? Wouldn't you like try to run at least instead of just standing there watching with a thumb up your ass? Wouldn't you at least try to run? At least try to make it out of there? I mean, you may not make it, but I think it'd be worth, I don't know, a fucking try. I mean, it's weird, like, if you look at the outside shots, it does seem like a sci-fi channel flick. But the inside looks a lot more polished. Yeah, I'm a fencer versus a knife thrower. Nice backflip. The Halle Berry stunt double. Although she did some pretty good stuff in John Wick 3. Again, the actors, I wouldn't even say are the problem. It's just... it's a ridiculous, silly plot that it does seem like an Austin Powers parody. Just take yourself at times too seriously. But I think this still gets like a 6.1 on IMDb. It still gets a pretty high rating considering compared to other movies. So I know there's still fans of this film. Maybe I would say The Will Is Done Enough is worse, because this is bad, but maybe it's a little bit more memorable in badness. Yeah, don't mind Halle Berry. I'll say that. Nice to look at, good actress. Do not mind Halle Berry. This fight between Pierce and the bad guy is pretty lame, though. There's just nothing to it. Just, I'm the shock master. I'm going to shock you. Give me shocker any day, man, over this. Or give me Air Force One. Get off my plane. Time to face gravity. Is that the line? Don't tell me I remember that. Yes, somehow I remembered that line. I don't know how the fuck I remember that line. I guess sometimes you remember the weirdest shit. Or the most random shit, I guess. It seems like such a nothing role for Michael Madsen. Michael Madsen's a good actor. Reservoir Dogs, among others, but... yeah, just like... good actor, but... just wasted on nothing, Sorry, I'm not saying much. I'm trying to feel like what the hell they do next. Like again, I don't remember much of any of this stuff. Like this whole plane sequence and the Icarus stuff and it all emptied my fucking brain. So did they stop the weapon or no? But that looks cool with the real helicopter moving it back. But then you go to the CG plane and the CG Tonka toy car is coming out of it. It's such a difference. Like, okay, this is cool. Like, going back, and then this crappy looking CGI plane. This horrible looking shit. I guess they did stop it. I fucking forgot. And somehow they don't start the helicopter free fall. I'm sure it's like, why am I looking for logic in a James Bond film? Die rich or die trying. I would imagine helicopter experts would just... their minds would be driven fucking insane by this sequence. Like, people who fly helicopters, they watch these and go, what the fuck did this do? So they did stop Icarus. I completely fucking blanked out in the middle of that. Going down together? That sounds like a plan. That sounds like a fun time. And yeah, that was always the thing about James Bond, like how is the continuity, because it could be kind of shaky where they're connected, but it's kind of like softly connected because uh, what was it? Oh, For Your Eyes Only, which is one of my favorite Roger Moore ones. Top 10 James Bond, I know it would be GoldenEye, For Your Eyes Only would be in there. Again, Spy Who Loved Me would be in there. A few others that would be in there. For Your Eyes Only. Yeah, this is like her fantasy. Moneypenny, I believe. But I believe that's the case. Oh, it's the VR, right? It's the VR set, I bet, that we saw earlier. She has the VR set. Because Moneypenny wasn't really a thing here. I'd imagine if you didn't... Well, I guess, why would you watch this if you didn't follow the franchise? And then John Cleese. What was I going to say about... Oh yeah, For Your Eyes Only. You had him kill, I think, pretty much Blofeld. Was that the one? Another one where he was at... Yeah, he was at a gravesite for his wife, which is a reference to On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Which was cool. So that's why it seemed like there was a connection between the films. Between two different, Bond guys. But again, good luck trying to follow continuity in James Bond. You're not supposed to think of it as like, okay, is it different people, but they just share the same 007 James Bond name? But that seems like there's a link because it's his wife, but it was the wife in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Right, okay, this James Bond, right, Pierce Brosnan plays. Did he experience this stuff in The Spy Who Loved Me? Did he experience this stuff in Goldfinger? Or, no, you're not supposed to think of that. I guess you're not really supposed to think of that. Oh, this shitty song. I'm gonna definitely mute that shit. Yeah, Victor Armstrong. Hey, good job to the stunt people. They did the best they could. It's not their fault. Mr. Tamahori's assistant. Sasha, maybe you should have given Lee Tamahori a clue as to what the fuck he was doing. You're fucking up, Lee. Just need to tell you that. Shape up or ship the fuck out. But yeah, that's Die Another Day. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a movie that's in search of its own identity. It wants to be a campy Roger Moore film, but the first, 30 minutes thinks it's License to Kill, try to be a grittier James Bond film. And yet the best action scene was the first action scene. Like, that was James Bond. You know, that was... And then it's like too much CGI, and it doesn't hold up at all today. And I did need ice palaces and invisible cars and Shockmaster power gloves and lasers that are going to shoot beams across the earth as if it was the fucking Death Star. James Bond versus the Death Star. I just... Jumping the shark, yeah. But, you know, maybe you have to jump too far to realize you've gone too far. Because you don't know what far enough is, and then once you do it, you go, okay, that's where the limit is. And so then the next one, after a few years, was Casino Royale, where they went way back away from the gadgets and the other stuff. But, yeah, I mean, it's not one of the worst theme songs of Die Another Day. And I didn't really care about the villain in this. The plot, I kind of lost interest in what was going on with the plot, and it's a lengthy film, over 2 hours. And like the whole finale with the plane stuff was just a lame, lackluster action scene, because you have shitty CGI, crappy fights in the plane. Like, you compare it to Tomorrow Never Dies, when they're on the submarine, and the James Bond, Michelle Yeoh, kicking ass, taking names, and the way the bad guy gets it, shoving him and him getting ripped apart to pieces, and I don't know. This one just wasn't for me. Shitty soundtrack too, and the score wasn't even that good. I'm sorry, the score did nothing for me. So, Die Another Day, one of my least favorite James Bond films. If you like it, cool. It's not for me. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. James Bond will return. Yeah, but not in the way you think. And not with Pierce, which is sad. It's sad this was the last one Pierce Brosnan did. It would have been nice if he had one more, so he could leave on a high note. But, nah, that wasn't the case. I mean, if you took the plot of Skyfall and had that with Pierce... I like Skyfall, but imagine that plot in this Pierce Brosnan. That would have been cool. But that wouldn't be the case. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.